We've got fingers crossed that this is gonna work. Let me know if you guys are here. And I see Marcus. Hi, Marcus. Let me know if it's working. Of course, now it's starting to thunderstorm. I don't know if you can tell, but it's extremely dark here in Texas. No sun at all. So, and it looks like my stream is very lagging. It's like 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds behind right now. So if you guys have questions, I will be looking at chat, but it may take me about 20 seconds after you enter it to respond. Hi Maggie, hi Marcia, hi Blake, hi Squeak, hi June. Hi everybody. Okay, so it does look like it is working, and watching me on the lag is very distracting. But I'm glad it's up and running so far. It says excellent condition. My husband helped me last night to make sure that the settings were correct, and well, as correct as we could figure out. YouTube is kind of confusing, so I don't know if you knew that, but YouTube is a little bit confusing. Hi Stella, welcome to the channel. Hi Penny. Yay! Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being patient, especially if you were ready for the Tuesday stream and that failed. Wow, the rain is really coming down. I don't know if weather affects internet, so hopefully not. But I've got us all set up here with my video camera is like way up here, higher than it's ever been before, so you guys can see my entire desk. Okay, I cannot watch myself on the lag. Hi Gail, hi Deanna, hi Emily, hi Bad Wolf. New Saturday morning cartoon replacement. Oh, that's quite an honor. Saturday morning cartoons are awesome. Good job, Ava's husband. Yes, Mr. Tech Support came through. He got it working for us. He understands all the technical babble. Hi, Speedies. Yes, computer stuff from Austria. Awesome. I hope it's sunshiny for you guys in other countries. Today is a gloomy day, but that's okay. We're working on a skeleton house. Might be appropriate for a gloomy day. So if you guys have any questions or anything, if you're just getting on, it's about a 20 to 30 second lag, so just keep that in mind. But it's working, so we're gonna take it. Hi Anne. Squeak loves rain. I do love rain. I just don't want anything to mess up my stream. And it is, like, usually, like on a morning stream, like the sun is just shining through this window behind me. But yeah, it looks like it's nighttime right now. Okay, so the things I wanted to do, okay, now it's giving me an error, but hopefully it's not a problem. It's not a problem. If y'all see anything happening, let me know. Just in the comments say, like, your audio went out or whatever, just so I know kind of what you guys are seeing. So I'm going to walk you through what I did in the last stream. What we went through the walls that I had popped out, and I kind of dry fit them, and dry fit means that you don't glue anything together, because I kind of wanted to see how everything was supposed to fit together. And if you remember, this is my center wall. Hold it up like this. This is my center wall, and it is extremely curved, or it was extremely curved. You can probably still see the curve a little bit here at the top. This is the only curve that's left in this wall. I have wood glued and clamped the crud out of this wall, and it started to straighten up. Oh, it's sunny in the UK. That's good. Thank you guys. And then I got this side of the house put together, and really y'all didn't miss anything except a bunch of glue time, because I just had to go a part at a time, gluing it together and trying to make sure that it was as straight as possible. And I will tell you, if you do start putting this kit together, if you decide to purchase the Fairfield, that's what this kit is, by Greenleaf. It's called a Fairfield kit. The key I found to clamping is going to be this center partition wall, because once you get the chimney assembly put together, it is fairly strong. Every now and then I look at it and I feel like it's curved a little bit. I feel like it curves this way, but then again, like I don't know. But it is a very strong piece, so it's a nice one to clamp to. And then this piece, the staircase, once you get it put together, it is a very strong piece that you can clamp to as well. And so I found I put this piece in before the directions actually told me to, but it was really helpful in enabling me to clamp something to these wall pieces and using the glue. It did straighten up. Oh, it's sunny in Finland. That's awesome. You're out worshiping the sun. Yes. We had a few sunny days. I mean, it was nice for like a week. And I mean, this is one rainy day after a week of sunshine. So I'm really not complaining. It's getting really loud. It's kind of loud here with the rain. I also went ahead and finished wallpapering these side pieces before I glued them on. So let me walk you shortly through the glue process. I did the center wall first, and of course it was still curved, so this is the center wall. And I made sure to get that as glued straight on this bottom floor as I possibly could against the stairs. And then I also, at the same time, glued these side walls to the center wall, and I just clamped everything down as much as I could and added wood glue. Now you can see a little wood glue in this corner wherever the wallpaper meets, but I am going to take some wallpaper, fold it like in like a little L shape, and just stick it in that corner, so it should cover it up. Cloudy in Minnesota. Is it getting warm up there yet? Just started getting warm in Texas. And then and then you have to glue this one in at the same time. And this is really the only piece that is still warped. I don't know if you can see this, but this floor kind of goes up into the corner there. So it's kind of warped like this, just very barely. You can see it really, really well under here. Because you can see in that corner that you can see a little bit of the second floor wall that's brown right underneath the floor. So you can see that this floor warps up into the corner. And I'm not really sure I could do anything about that because the tabs do fit in here and here. So I put them in the correct tabs. And that's just what ended up happening. So luckily when I put my crown molding on, it should cover that up. Hello, hello. Try to make mini crocuses. You'll have to explain, is that food? You'll have to let me know what that is. It's really not warm at all. Don't worry about being late. I'm just going over what I did in the last stream, so you haven't missed anything yet. Always warm in Indonesia. Okay, so some things that I changed. I'm going to lift it this way. There is a wall that is supposed to be right here next to the fireplace, and it divides these two rooms, and the only connecting place is right here. Hey, my little error message went away. Oh, nope, it's back. Never mind. So this was supposed to be the only walkway between these two rooms, but I really like the idea of the fireplace just being the center of these two rooms. So I'm leaving this open, which means that I just cut off the bottom part of this piece. Trying to show y'all the best that I can. This piece extended all the way down to the first floor right here. And so I just cut off the bottom piece and only glued in the top because I want these top two rooms, these are going to be bedrooms, so they do need to be separated. But I like the idea of the living room and dining room only being separated by a fireplace. And so that was one change that I made from the original design. Yeah, it has to be a bit wonky. That's true. That's why I love doing some just like old projects, because if it ends up wonky, then I'll just say that I meant to do it that way. Hi, Elaine. Hi from Brazil. That's awesome. Okay, so we now I told you that we would put together this side of the house together, and I realized that once I put this together that I did not wallpaper this entire side of the wall. So I'm gonna have to do that now and kind of do it around the staircase. That was my bad. That's something that I left out, and I didn't really think through it very well as far as this side of the house. I was thinking ahead on the right side of the house, but the left side of the house I was just trying to use as a way to prop up this other side, and I missed that detail. So I have my wallpapers that if y'all were in the last one, you saw this book. This is an older dollhouse wallpaper book, and I've decided that I'm making this house a Victorian house that was kind of redecorated in the 1970s. So I feel like these are some really, like, a good mix between some wallpapers that you probably would have seen or could see in the Victorian era, mixed with a lot of wallpapers that you would definitely see in the 60s or 70s. And so I've printed a few of these out. That's gonna be, yeah, I think this is the kitchen design, the kitchen wallpaper, I believe, yes. And then I was gonna use these for the hall area. So we might have to kind of like stitch them together a little bit here. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Tanya. Oh yeah, I'm very happy to. My wonderful husband has got the kids entertained. They download some stuff so they weren't on the internet while I do this. So they are just chilling and watching some movies on this rainy Texas day. What rooms are on that side? Okay, so I told you this side is going to be, I'll kind of give you a little tour real quick. This is going to be living room, dining room. This is going to be kind of like a kid's bedroom or a guest bedroom, and this is going to be the master bedroom. And the reason I didn't put wallpaper in here and it's just brown is I want to do some wood siding, wood detailing on that to make it look like wood panels. So that's why I'm just painting that side brown. On this side, so when you come over here, the house walls only go like this. Sorry. The house walls only go like this, and so this is a very, very tiny entryway. And I'm going to be changing the kit a little bit because they put a wall right here. So the only way you can actually see the entryway is through this or through the front door. So I'm going to remove this wall so that this entryway extends all the way out here into, this is going to be the kitchen. And then I'm not really sure what's over here. I think this is like the bathroom and then like a hallway area. I just think it's like a hallway and then a bathroom, which I'm not sure I'm gonna do a bathroom because I generally don't do bathrooms in my dollhouses. But I don't know, I have to kind of make that call when I get to it, because this could be another room or, I don't know, something interesting. We might come up with something kind of cool. Oh, there's spring flowers. Okay. I don't know anything about flowers, so that makes sense why I did not recognize what you were talking about. Kids would be easier. Yes, kids can be distracted by technology, for sure. Cats and dogs, not really. Morning, Linda. Yes, everything's going good. We're having a good Saturday. I'm just glad that the stream is working. Oh, cool. Okay, so you're familiar with this wallpaper. So the interesting part about having to do this wallpaper, I'm actually going to flip it upside down because otherwise this platform is going to be between me and the surface I need a wallpaper. And I'm hoping y'all can see everything that I'm doing. That's why my camera is way up there. I felt like that would be a good angle because this guy, even though it's half scale, is getting bigger and bigger, and I want to make sure you guys can see. So I pretty much need to wallpaper, I believe, this whole side, because when you come up here, except for here, I think I can cut it off here, and then this bottom part and here can be wallpapered the kitchen paper. And but this part all up here and down here needs to be the hallway paper, which is going to be this stuff. So I hope you guys are okay with watching a little bit of wallpapering, but I didn't want to get too far down the road and like get too far ahead of the project since we were doing this together. Oh, that's a good idea. Skeleton in the closet. That's really cute. But wouldn't the skeletons have something else in the closet? Because there's skeletons in the house. What would the skeletons have in the closet? All right, so this wallpaper is not tall enough to reach all the way to the top here. So I'm going to kind of have to think through that, but I'm going to get my scissors and start cutting off the edges. Thank you guys for joining me on a Saturday. I know it's probably y'all got stuff to do. But I was really looking forward to this stream on Tuesday, and I was really sad when it didn't work. And I know if you just saw my recent video, that didn't help with my mood this past week because I was really looking forward to it. Is there a problem with my volume, Elaine? Is it too low? Let me know. I'm trying to speak right into this microphone. It prefers me to be right next to it. Oh, Lily says to wallpaper it before you build it. Yes, that's what I have heard from anyone who's ever built this house, is to wallpaper it before it is completely put together. So we're going to do that painstaking process together. A person in the closet. Could be. All right. Or maybe they have a ghost in the closet or something. All right. I remember when I was a kid, one night we stayed in one of my grandparents' guest rooms, and like it was like kind of not really a storage room, but it's like where they put a lot of stuff that they weren't using. And we had never really opened the closet that was in that room, but one night we just decided to open it, and there was a skeleton literally in the closet, but it was like one of those plasticky ones that were just kind of like heat formed, but still, I mean, we were little kids, still scared us. And I remember we ran downstairs, and of course the parents had to come back up the stairs and show us that we were just fine. But we literally, they had a skeleton in the closet. Hi Sharon. Cool. There's skins hung up in the that would be really creepy. But like, yeah, they could have like a body coat. I was hoping to keep the tone of this kind of lighthearted and fun, but I don't know, if we had skin coats in the closet, that'd definitely be interesting. Okay, so my goal is to get this down and kind of tucked behind this staircase. There is a little bit of a gap between the staircase and the wall, so I think I can kind of fit it to that. But the trick is I need to cut it on the correct angle. So I'm gonna find a ruler. I'm gonna line it up the best that I can. Luckily with some aging techniques, if I don't get it perfect, I can just kind of like push some black paint up into the corner and just kind of hide any seams that I don't get perfect. So let me find something to draw a line with. Hi Rob. Hi Angela. Hi Maggie. Oh no. I don't understand YouTube. It's like, don't you want people to watch your videos? Building a dollhouse from scratch, 4 stories high by 4 rooms wide. Oh my goodness. That's huge. That's awesome though. Hi Chris. I hope we complete quite a bit, but we'll see. It is kind of nice to show something real time, I think, to show like, oops, sorry if that was loud, show the amount of time that it takes, you know, to do each step. Because I was talking with a few people who were commenting on my video from yesterday that sometimes it's hard to show how much time goes into something when I'm editing it and it goes, you know, rather quickly. So it is kind of nice to have this live stream to show real time. That's okay, Squeak. I appreciate it. What did you wind up doing to get the wall straight? So Edwina's asking about the center wall. What I did is I bought these huge clamps. And well, huge as compared to a dollhouse. And actually I highly suggest these if you're putting a dollhouse together. These are some good clamps because they're actually pretty lightweight. If you try and get some bigger ones, sometimes these parts are made out of metal and they can get really heavy and they can cause further damage to your dollhouse because this wood is so thin and easily bendable. So these ones, this Irwin Quick Grip, it came in a pack of 4. These are the smaller ones, and then there's another set of bigger ones that can like clamp the whole house. So I just put a lot of wood glue and I just clamped everything I could to make a right angle. So I just clamped as much as I could. Sorry, Elaine, that the volume's having issues for you. I hope you can get it figured out. Bye, Blake. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I like these clamps. The only thing is, I'm just going to let you know, when they come, they have this oil all on the black part. So it's still showing up. I tried to wipe it off, but it's still showing up. I'm sure it's supposed to be there and it's really good for like a workshop. But for me, like all this stuff is sticking to it. So just a fair warning to you. Okay, so what I'm going to keep doing is just try to keep fitting this wallpaper closer and closer to the staircase here, and it might work. Pushing the ruler against the staircase to create that line or that angle that I want. And then I'm just drawing it onto the wallpaper. So I have the angle of the staircase. And then I'm just cutting it and moving it closer and closer. This is not an exact science. Yes, Marcia, it's the 2 shorter and 2 longer clamps. And when you first get them, they're pretty heavy when they're all in a package together. But once I got them out, they're fairly lightweight and they're really easy to use. So I will give a suggestion for those if you're looking for a suggestion. Okay, we're almost there. I think, but I want to get, I don't know, I'm not sure. I guess I want to get it all the way up here. That might work because I really don't, let's see. Trying to figure out how to do this the best possible way. There may not be a best possible way. The best possible way would have been to done this before I glued it all together. That would have been the best possible way. All right, so I think I'm gonna do it like this, and I am going to, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do in this situation. I might just glue it down like this and then add little strips over it. Is that a bad idea? Hi, Carol. Oh, wow. I have a smaller set of these clamps as well. Love them. Cool. Sorry, Elaine. I wish I knew some Portuguese, but I don't. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this down the way that it is. And then I'm going to add some strips here and then a bit here from the second page that I have. And it's not going to look super smooth here. Or actually, this is outside of the house. This house is so confusing, I'm telling you guys. This is actually the outside of the house all the way here. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut that off, or I can leave it on because I'm gonna actually cover it. Okay, we're just gonna go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then we'll figure it out someday. My husband has some big clamps. I actually couldn't get to them in the garage, so I was going to try and use those, but they're the kind that have the metal, and they were just going to be way too heavy, and they were going to definitely weigh down the wood more than, you know, and it could have created more of a problem because the wood would have been bending to the weight of the clamps, and so I really needed some lighter weight clamps. Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do this for now. And this all right here is outside. So this is front porch. So if I decide to do siding or brick or something, it's going to cover this up. So I don't really have to worry about that part. You could do wainscoting at the bottom. That's true especially for over in this area. Although this is going to be outside, so it's going to be all covered up. Call from my 4-year-old granddaughter. Well, that's very important. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and get this guy glued on. And I will show you, it kind of goes underneath the steps. There's like a gap right here. There is a little bit of area that you can see, but like I said, I'm going to age that. So I really don't think it's going to stick out that badly, that it's not perfectly lining up with every single stair rung on the staircase. I think it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to do my same thing that I did before. I'm going to use Mod Podge and oh, thank you, Elaine. Obrigado. I think I said that right. Did you put the wallpaper onto heavier card? I only use regular copy paper with mixed results. Yes, it is a it is cardstock, And so I copied out of the book. I don't know if that's illegal or not. Hold on. I'm looking for a good Mod Podge brush. I must have left my regular Mod Podge brush by the sink, but that's okay. We'll use this one. Yes, so I copied it out of the book and then I printed it onto cardstock so that it would be nice and a heavy weight, and that helps keep the creases out of it. Yes, it's printed on cardstock. All right, so let me kind of figure out how far I need the Mod Podge to go over. So it needs to go pretty much about an inch away from this door, all down the steps, and then all the way over here. I'm gonna have to do it pretty quickly. The Mod Podge can dry really fast. Try to get all the way down to the wood, and I'll try not to get it too much on anything else, but when you're going quickly, it's kind of difficult. Like I said, this would be a much easier step to do before you glue the whole house together. But you know, sometimes we're just going quickly and we don't even think through those things, but there's always ways to kind of work around it. So you know, there's always that temptation to freak out and say, oh no, I messed this up, but you know, there's ways around it. Okay, I'm trying to keep the coat as even as possible, even though I'm going quickly. Because the lumpier it is, the more likely there's going to be lumps in the finished paper. And then I also do a coat of Mod Podge on top of the paper. And some people may not like that because it does give it a little bit of a shine, but I feel like it protects it, because if you're working on something else inside the house and then you like bump it with like a paintbrush that had paint on it or something, if it's just plain paper on the surface of the wallpaper, then you're never going to get that paint off of the paper surface. But if you have a little bit of Mod Podge on the top of it, it's more likely you'll be able to wipe that off. And also I feel like it just helps protect the paper. Oh, it isn't illegal with Dover books? Okay. That's good. They're not going to come after me, I hope. But honestly, like they give you like maybe 3 pages of wallpaper for each design, and that's really not enough to do most rooms, and then especially if you mess it up. So yeah, I think there's several different like wallpaper books out there. I only have one, and I'm still not really sure where I got it from. So I may have just, someone may have given it to me. I can't really remember. All right, so I'm just like trying to lay it down as flat as I can. And before I do the top coat, I'm going to cut out all the holes for the doors, wherever that hole is. Right here, there's a door right here, and then this archway right here. I'm going to make sure and cut those out before I do the Mod Podge, because then the Mod Podge can kind of go over the edge, over the cut edge, and kind of adhere to the wall a little bit. I missed some Mod Podge here at the top. If I get too close to the microphone, let me know, but I do know that the sound is better the closer I am. So just let me know if you're like, back it up, Ara. So I'm going to get a little bit more Mod Podge, the best I can, underneath this wallpaper. There is this like bump right here where the two like pegs met, and it's really causing a problem in the wallpaper, but it's just going to add to the character. I should have probably sanded it down. But if you are making this dollhouse, you're more than welcome to do that, or ignore it like I did and just have a bump in the wallpaper. All right, looks like we're still doing good. All right, so I'm just gonna let that kind of dry a little bit. I don't want to start cutting it before it's fairly stuck, because if it's not if it hasn't grabbed hold really good, I could accidentally move it. Hi, Kevin. Yes, the stream is working. We're very thankful for that. All right, so I did have one thing I figured we could do while some glue dried. And I did have some people ask me about the skeletons that go into this house. And so I wanted to show you the brand, and I bought some new stuff. So all right, I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit. This is the box this is the brand Pose Skeleton. Or actually the brand is Remint. I don't know if you guys have heard of Remint, but they do miniature things. It's not always in a specific scale, but these just happen to be pretty perfect for half scale. And this actually is the box for their little pet dog. So I've had him before. He's not new, but I'm not sure I've shown you guys him. But he's pretty cute. So they will have a little skeleton dog for the house. And he is from the brand Pose Skeleton. And then it comes with a little dog bowl and a dog bone, which is kind of funny. And then he has like a little leash. And so these are the kind of things that come in the Pose Skeleton set. Hi, Kim. Welcome to the stream. All right, so I forgot to put them back in here. They're little, so I try to make sure I keep them in the plastic so that they don't just like fall. And then of course I have 2 of the skeletons, and I think they have like a little kid skeleton, so I might get him. I'm not quite sure, but this is the little skeleton guy, and he's pretty posable, which I like. I really love things that are posable, because then you can kind of get them into your projects and make them look like they really, are moving around in there. Hi, Dark Merry-Go-Round. Welcome to the stream. It seems like Saturday is a pretty good day for a lot of people to be able to make it, but it also is a little bit harder with family. Because my family's home and I'm like, stay off the internet. So here's the new thing that I purchased. This is like a little kit that you can get to go with it. So this still is Remint brand Pose Skeleton. And I just had an Amazon gift card as like a gift from one of my students. And so I just decided to see if the little furniture that comes in this set is really half scale. And I haven't opened this yet. I was gonna wait for today so you guys could open it with me. Oh, it's so little. Already I'm not sure it's quite half scale. That looks a little bit bigger. But that's why I kind of wanted to get a set just to see if the size was really half scale or not. But that's actually a pretty cool little chair. I mean, it's plastic, obviously. It's a cast plastic piece with the skeleton guy in it. Because he's definitely half scale. Because he is about 3 inches tall, which is around a 6-foot skeleton for half scale. Yeah, I'm very happy to do this on a Saturday. In the summer, I'm going to be doing it at night, so hopefully some people who have a hard time making it during like the weekday can make it then too. So here he is in the little rocking chair. When I get the house set back up, well, that's pretty cute. It is 1/18 scale. That makes sense, because this does look bigger than half scale, even though the skeleton can pass as half scale. So I'll go ahead and pull these other things out, and then we'll continue working on the wallpaper. But I'm sure these little like cups and things, so there's a little side table which I feel like the chair could pass in a half scale scene, but this is really, really big. This is almost an inch and a half tall, which honestly could be like a small table in 12 scale. So I don't think I would be able to use this in the scene, but I could definitely save it for something else. And then I'll pull these out so you can see the little things that came with it. But I did just want to see what these looked like, especially since they were made for the little skeleton dolls that I purchased. So it comes with like a little cup and a little like candlestick, and then a little saucer. So maybe the cup and saucer could pass. They'd be pretty big for half scale. They actually look like they would work also for 12 scale, but now I know you know, that these are just a little bit too big for an accurate half scale. But if you're one that's not like a stickler for scale, some people aren't that worried about scale. Like, as long as it looks passable in the scene, they're okay. But then there's some other people who, you know, it needs to be exact, and that's just, you know, up to each person's preference. So, but I had that gift card and I was like, well, let's just see if we can see how these work. It could be for a kitchen table. That's true. Hi, Joanne. I'm gonna lurk in the background. I know it's really late where you're at. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, they're really cool little skeletons. And they pose really, really well. For something so small to be able to pose the way that it does is really, really cool. So that's why I was intrigued by them. And then when I decided to buy this house, I was like, oh, skeletons can fit in the house and they can go together, because I had the skeletons before the house. So it wasn't my original plan. So I'm going to put these away and then we can continue on the wallpaper. I do have a half scale, like, vintage furniture room set, which when I was looking this brand up, it came up. I don't think it's a remint set. It actually said half scale vintage plastic furniture set, and had like an old record player thing. So stay tuned to my Instagram, because when that arrives, I was hoping it'd be here for today, but it didn't make it. So when that arrives, I will definitely post it on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do that. It's Bentley House. Yeah, just Bentley House Minis. And I'll post the unboxing for that on Instagram, and you can see kind of how it lays out in the house. Okay, so let me fix the camera up again. Oh, wrong way. Okay. So now that the wallpaper's grabbed hold pretty good, I'm going to get my X-Acto. And then I do have some bubble ups here, but I try not to mess with those too much, because oftentimes with the Mod Podge, the bubbles will go back down once it dries. Some people are tall and some are short. Yes, the skeleton, I feel like they'll do really well in half scale. Hi, Lisa. Hi from Central Alberta, Canada. My 13-year-old daughter and I. Oh, thank you so much. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Let me know what y'all are working on. I love to hear about y'all's projects, and then it inspires me to keep working on my projects, because then I'm like, ooh, I want to try a project like that, or makes me want to. I love starting new projects. Does anyone just love starting a new project? Case in point, this house, which I started at the beginning of the year, because I was like, I want to do a new dollhouse, even though I'm not finished with the others, but that's okay. All right. I am going to probably put like some, what am I trying to say? What is the stuff that goes around? Woodwork, whatever the woodwork is called that goes around. I am going to put some of that around the opening of the house, of the top here. And so I'm not super worried about the edge. I am trying to be as careful as I can be. But we've got this part wallpaper, and like I said, this is going to be covered, so I don't really have to worry about that sticking down over there. 1950s kitchen. Ooh, yes, that sounds awesome. Product for the Milwaukee show in May. Wish I could come to Dallas too, maybe next year. You should definitely come. Yeah, I wish I knew all about like all the miniature shows. Maybe someday I can travel to the miniature shows around the world. Like, I would love to just travel around and go to different dollhouse stores and different dollhouse shows. I think that would be awesome. Working on Addams Family themed dollhouses. Well, awesome. Working on a tree house made with boxes. Oh, that's cool. Molding. Yes. Thank you. I'm guessing it's Christopher. Thank you. Molding. That's what I was trying to say. All right. So there's a door somewhere in here. So the easiest way to deal with the door is to kind of cut an X where you think it is. And I'm just going to try to cut along the sides the best that I can to open up this doorway. I'm working on all of my UFO acrylic paintings. Oh, I've never heard of acrylic April. That sounds awesome. I love acrylic painting. Decided I was going to make a bunch of plants for a secret garden or greenhouse for my mom for Christmas. Overwhelmed myself and haven't done anything this week. Oh, my friend. Yes. Just take your time. I am all about now, like, I know I mentioned my video yesterday, but it just really made an impact on me, and all the comments, if you left a comment, thank you so much, were just amazing, and it really opened my eyes to the fact that I was really focusing more on the finish line and not enjoying the process. So really enjoying the process is like half the, well, probably like 90% of the fun in miniatures. I was about to say half the fun, but it's more than that. And I was just focusing on the finish line and trying to get things done because of this invisible deadline. So definitely enjoy the process. If you're not enjoying the process, take a break for sure. Working on a 1/6 Monster High house. That's cool. It's taking over my spare bedroom. Love creating with my daughter because she's the designer of the project. My daughter has, I don't know, 30 Monster High dolls, and I'm hoping they will all be mine when she grows out of that phase. Recommending your channel to someone else. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much for recommending my channel. That's so sweet. Putting in windows and doors, always fun. Do you recommend Mod Podge over mucilage? I have never tried that, actually. I do get some bubbling with Mod Podge, but I do feel like a lot of times, if I just leave it alone, it will go away, unless there's like some kind of lump underneath. So there's a lump right here. I can show you guys a little bit more about what I'm talking about with that. So this peg kind of went through the center wall, and so it's poking out right here, and I'm just kind of letting it be and not worrying about it. Although when I start to put the crown molding in later, I'll probably be really frustrated with myself. Like earlier, there's a bump right here. So it's possible that when I put the layer of Mod Podge over on top of it, the paper side that's not yet had Mod Podge on it, it could dry and flatten out. Doesn't always happen, but probably 8 times out of 10, any bumps that I have with Mod Podge, if I let it sit and I don't mess with it, it will flatten out. Sorry, I'm missing some comments. Working on windows and doors. Dark merry-go-round. I've always loved your work. So I always think, oh, thank you. I always wonder, do you usually scale them or do you just wing it? And how do you plan your miniatures? So for scale, I feel like with 1/12 scale, which is like an inch equals a foot, I can pretty much eye it. Like I can look at a miniature and decide whether or not it's going to work, just because I've worked in that scale for so long. With half scale, I really have to get out a ruler and measure because I'm pretty new to that. So if it's a scale that you work in a lot, you'll probably get used to the scale and just be able to look at something and know if it'll work. I have a 9-room dollhouse that will be a Baha'i center. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Complete with multicultural people and the junior youth doing art and making music. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Currently building a miniature washer and dryer for my house using techniques I learned from making your retro stove. That's cool. Hi, Claire. Making Eastern baskets with eggs and chicken. Oh, Easter. Easter or Eastern? Awesome. Okay, so how do I scale down the stove to 1/24 scale? So really you're just going to take the pattern and scale it down 50%, but you also have to scale down the thickness of your material. And so instead of a 1/16 inch material, you need to have a 1/32 inch material. And I know you guys who use the metric system are like cringing at my fractions here, but that's just how my brain works because I was educated in America, and I'm not saying it makes sense, but that's just the way it that's just the way it works. If you go and find my my video on making it was my collab with Crack and Make Ruckus, which is another miniatures channel. She does half scale miniatures. I made a half scale china cabinet, and I kind of talk about my process of making the design in 1/12 scale, and then I scale it down to 1/24 scale. And what I ended up doing was gluing 2 pieces of cardstock together to make a 1/32 inch piece of material, and it actually worked really, really well. So if you can't find that video, please send me a message somewhere on my Instagram or like on a YouTube video somewhere or on my retro stove video, and I will link you to that video because that might explain it a little bit better with visuals. As a YouTuber myself, I totally get burned out and haven't made videos in 3 years. You have such a good community here and important to keep it fun. Thank you, Kevin. Yes. And you should start making videos again and just have fun. What do you, Kevin, let me know what you make videos about. I would love to know. Would you use the gloss Mod Podge if you want high gloss on your woodwork? Yes, it does have a very glossy finish. Just know that if you use the gloss Mod Podge, it will show every single effect or defect, or it will show everything. So just make sure that you have it sanded exactly as you want it, because it will show every single wood grain and yeah, everything. No problem. Eastern is like Christmas, but okay, so Easter. Gotcha. In America, we say Easter. But then when we say Eastern, it usually means like in the East, which the world is round. So anyway, but I understand what you mean. I gotcha. My tree dollhouse is 3 floors. Oh, okay, cool. Hold on. I gotta approve something. Show. Cool. So you build Lego. That's awesome. That also is a lot of like 3D thinking and 3D building. So I will have to check that out. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to link up this part of the wallpaper. And I'm trying to find a place where I can kind of blend the 2 papers together. And I'm just going to make it go straight across, because the bottom part is going to be the kitchen wallpaper, which is that kind of real 70s green with flowers. So, okay, it's telling me something else. Okay, let me go ahead and kind of cut this guy out so I'm conserving wallpaper in case I need it for somewhere else. Like I said, this is a lot easier before you glue it together. Highly suggest to do it before you glue the whole thing together. That's awesome, Claire. So Claire's saying that she couldn't find a right angle for her gluing jig, so she used a Lego, which is genius. My kids have Legos. I need to go raid their Lego box and take them for myself. Okay, so I'm gonna do this here. I actually didn't build that much with Lego growing up. I've become more interested in it as an adult, and I think even like the art of Lego has kind of grown recently, and there's so many cool things that are done in Legos now, and I mean really like works of art, honestly. And I just love how art can pretty much be made with any material, and I love that it's really being appreciated. Hi, Martha. Oh, happy birthday, Charlie. That's awesome. He's got a spring birthday. I have a winter birthday, so I often think that it'd be really fun to have a spring birthday where it's beautiful and go outside. Although I have enjoyed my winter birthdays, I must say. I've had some pretty good birthdays, and I have a December birthday. Magnetic. I lost it. I bought a magnetic gluing jig from Micro Mark. Great for gluing things to square. I need to get a gluing jig. I've never had one. I need one. Oh, cool. I'll definitely check it out, Kevin. Thank you for sharing. All right. Hi, Vonda. All right. I am going to glue this little guy on, and then our upper hallway should be wallpapered, and then we can move on to the kitchen area. And then hopefully get some walls up. I really wanted to put up a few more walls, but honestly, we got to get through the wallpapering step, and I wanted to show you this because I kind of messed up in not doing it before, and I like showing my mistakes as much as my successes. Bye, Kevin. Enjoy the game. And so yeah, pretty much wallpaper before. Okay, so let's get this Mod Podge on here, and I'm gonna get all the way up to where I think the gluing line was. I might have forgotten. And if I go a little bit on top of the other paper, it's okay because I'm going to Mod Podge over everything anyway. And then I'm gonna let this guy stick a bit before I cut the doorway out like we did before. Unfortunately, I don't have any other fun miniature packages to open. Oh, I do. Hold on. I do. It's not as fun as the other one probably, but I'll show it to you anyway. All right, so I'm trying to make sure I have the flowers going in the same direction. Like so. And I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm trying not to get my fingers in the Mod Podge because if I drag it onto the printed flower print, it could kind of grab the ink or the face of the paper and kind of pull at it and cause some problems. So keeping my finger out of the Mod Podge as much as possible, and then just kind of pushing it down into the wet glue as much as I can. I don't think I put enough down at the bottom. Always have a paper towel ready. Whenever I'm done with my Mod Podge, I stick the brush straight into water so that it doesn't dry on my brush, especially if I'm using kind of a nicer brush. Well, that just got Mod Podge on everything. Oops. But then if I need to use it again, I need to have a paper towel to dry it off because you don't want to stick a wet brush into your Mod Podge. Anyone else think it's awkward saying the word Mod Podge? I feel like it should be Mod Pod or Mod Podge. Like it should rhyme. It weirds me out that it doesn't rhyme. I used to have a winter birthday, now I have a summer one. That's very true, Joanne. I could definitely, if I changed my location, have a summer birthday. I need bigger, you mean you need bigger clamps? I wish I'd decorated before I built. I didn't. I decided that I hated everything I'd done, so I gutted the entire house. Yes, papering can definitely be a lesson. There are ways to kind of get around it if you have to do it. There are some ways you can build like a false wall, wallpaper the false wall, and then glue that in. And I don't really have a project where that I can show that. I wish I did, but I have seen it done. And if I ever do have a project in that situation, I will definitely show you guys. But it's easier to wallpaper flat surfaces for sure. All right, so I'm gonna let that kind of grab. While this is drying, I'm gonna move on to wallpapering this. Maybe I'll start over here. And also this part right here, I think is supposed to be outside of the house, but I'm not quite sure. It's very unclear on whether, like, is this supposed to be an extension of the house? Because like the floor runs out here. So I don't really know. Because this is the edge of the floor, and then we still have wall that goes up here. So should I wallpaper this or should I cover it in siding? I don't know. Oh, I was going to show you, I have one more miniature thing. I found this at Hobby Lobby, and it's like this little fountain, and I thought it was small enough to work in half scale. Here, I'll take it out of the package so you can see it a little bit better. But I thought it could look cute on the porch. It looks like it might be 3D printed. It was $4. Like this little fountain guy. And it's got quite a wide porch. So even if I put it like right here, I feel like it could be a cute little addition. You know how people have those little fountains, little water features on their porch? It looks like it would fit okay right there. Like this is the outside. This would be the outside of the house. So it would just kind of be sitting on the porch. So I'm just kind of collecting things as I go. Obviously, I'm not ready to put these kinds of things in, but I'm just going to put them in a box and collect them. I use cheap microfiber towels to blot my wet brushes. It's faster over time, cheaper than paper towels. That's a good idea. I need to get some like dedicated brush towels. That's a really good idea. Although I do use my paper towel like for an entire project pretty much. Little Structures here on YouTube builds most things on mount board, then puts them into our houses. They end up so clean and crisp. Oh, okay. So guys, if you're interested in that process, go look up Little Structures, because it sounds like they do it the way I was talking about, how you put it on something before you put it into your dollhouse. I'm working on a haunted house. So many mistakes I make become part of the decay and aesthetic. Me too. I'm also doing it with the Allison Jr. and got a lot of use out of your Addams Family tutorials. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that's why my style is definitely more dilapidated, because it covers up all the mistakes. Probably use the glue. You could probably just glue the wallpaper to matte board and then glue it in. Yes, that's what I do basically. Always keep blue shop towel for wet and dry. Yes, I have actually, I had some. I think they're gone now. My husband probably took them. Cool. Wet towel is good. Clean. Yes, clean the fingers. Yes, for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I'm going to end up wallpapering this whole thing, even though I don't know if this is going to be inside or outside. But if it is outside, then I can always cover it up. let me kind of clean off my my mess at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this guy in case I need it in the future, which I might. Put him back in here. I'm putting all my wallpaper scraps back in because you never know when you might just need a little bit of wallpaper for something. And I know there's another side of this hallway, so I definitely will need it for that. So this is going to be my kitchen wallpaper, and it's more of that 70s, 60s type look to it. It's got all those little flower details, and I just think it's amazing. I probably wouldn't put it in my kitchen. Like, I think it'd be overwhelming in like full scale, but it's awesome. I just love it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. Actually, I think I just need one for right now because it's not a huge space that I'm wallpapering at the moment. And this, oh, I'm my fountain. This space here, let me flip this around because y'all been staring at this upside down for a little bit. So here's what we've got wallpapered, and it's going up the stairs, so that's good. And in these little spots here, I don't know if you can tell, the wallpaper is obviously not in the gaps. I'm probably going to just kind of age that area so it blends in a little bit more nicely, or I could probably even put some kind of railing type look there, or wainscot it like Edwina was saying. So there's lots of different options for covering that up, but honestly I'm not sure how much you're going to see that or focus on that anyway. So sometimes when it comes to those little details, I'm okay with just kind of going, it's good enough. Yes, the Mod Podge matte is what I'm working with right now. Even though it says matte, it always has a little bit of a shine. So I haven't really found a glue that is really truly matte. If you know of a glue that is actually matte and does not have any shine, like you can see this still has a little bit of a shine to it, let me know, because I have not found a truly matte glue. They all at least have a little bit of a shine. I'm on a break from it, but I'm making a Santa's house. Told everyone, I always think about making some kind of Christmas house like in December, and so then it's obviously not enough time. Viva towels, they don't have a design, so they can use them in a lot of projects. So I haven't tried those kinds of towels. I just get whatever the cheapest is. Oh wow, that's cool. Popsicle sticks. There's a lot of really talented people who make cool stuff with popsicle sticks. Hi Jillian, thanks for popping in for a little bit. Okay, so so for this part, I need to probably paint these, because if I start wallpapering this and this is still unpainted, the reason this is unpainted right here is because I removed the railing, because it looked kind of like this, and this is okay, but down here it just looked really rough and clunky, and so I decided to remove it. And then I had to go in and use some wood filler to kind of fix up those stairs, because removing them kind of pulled at the wood and splintered it, and so I had to fix it. So let me get my paint. Nope. I don't know if this is the right shade. Okay, I don't know if this is the right shade. I don't think it is. Let's see, it's either earth brown or burnt umber. I think it's earth brown, so we're gonna try this one. Is Mod Podge better than watered down white glue? I don't know, actually. Hold on, I missed some. Oh, it's going quickly. Hold on, I gotta go back. There was some information I missed. Okay. It's not glue, but I use matte nail polish on top when I want something to have a matte finish. It's a good idea. Try spraying it with a matte spray after. I could try that too. Mod Podge has a super matte Mod Podge chalk for a while now, but I can't find it. Oh, I really want a matte one. Is Mod Podge better than watered down white glue? I do not know. I have not tried them side by side. I stopped using glue Mod Podge. I now mix up a little bit of wallpaper glue instead for wallpaper. Well, that's a good idea. I'll have to try. Maybe I'll do a video someday of trying all of those things so we could like kind of do a science experiment. Hi Justine, welcome to the stream. Acrylic ultra matte medium warp the paper. I don't know. I need to write all these down so we can try them out. Hi Laura. Liquitex Pro matte gel medium, no shiny bits. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and write all of this stuff down, and we're just gonna have to make like a sciencey video testing out all the finishes. Small bag goes a long way. Aw, thank you, Martha. Not Mod Podge chalk. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up these. I knew you guys would know. All right, so let's paint the stairs. That's why I love this channel, because I can just say, hey, I need to know about this, and I know someone's gonna know something about whatever I'm confused about. But it would be fun to kind of test those things out, because like a big part of miniatures is knowing your substances, like knowing your glues, knowing your paints, understanding like water control. I think this is the right shade. Because you know you don't want to have warping. Example, center wall here. So you know, it would be probably at least an informative video to understand the differences and what would work better for different things. Although there's probably would be a lot going into that. Like, is this better for this? Is this better for this? I don't know. Would y'all like that video? That kind of a video, like comparing things? Because I think wallpapering can be such a annoying and daunting task. So anyway, I just choose to ignore any bumps that happen, and I like age over it. Hi Debbie. I don't know if you can mix those two. I haven't really tried. I use things mostly in their pure form. I don't do a ton of mixing unless I'm trying to get like a texture or something. All right, I think I got our stairs painted up on the edge there, so I'm gonna let that dry. Do I need to paint more on this side? Oh, I need a little bit of paint on the interior. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna start wallpapering the inside. We have about 45 minutes left, so we'll at least get some wallpapering done, and then I'll probably talk about gluing together the other side, and I'm going to be making a little bit of a modification, so I want to go over that idea with you guys. So in case you're following along and you're wanting to make the same modification, you can know which pieces I'm talking about. Use gesso, but I think it's so might have a lot less gloss than mop. Oh, gesso. It's a good idea. Yes to the science video. I can even wear like a lab coat. 12 scale won't fit in my dollhouse. I've learned so much of the product stuff from you. Oh, thanks. Well, a lot of it I've learned from you guys, from comments saying, try this. And I'm like, oh, that worked. Thank you. Okay, so it looks like you guys would like kind of a comparison video on glues and substances. I sound kind of weird saying substances, but chalkboard Mod Podge is there, but not chalk. Bummer. That sounds like it was like, I like the Mod Podge line, so it like sound like that could have been a possibility, but if it's not on there, Bubbles under wallpaper usually go down as it dries. Yes, I find that with Mod Podge at least, it kind of pulls at, once it dries, it kind of pulls it down straight. So that's why I like it. Yes, and you can do a slit in the paper if you have a bubble and kind of press it down. We homeschool, so that would be perfect. That's awesome. Gesso isn't what I need is for Joanne to come do the video with me, because she's always like 10 steps ahead of me on most items. Hobby Lobby, Ace Hardware, chalk Mod Podge. If we use chalk for coloring things, can we Mod Podge over it? I don't know. These are all things, like I'll have to put out like a message saying, if you have questions about glue or something, send them to me, and I can kind of compile it into a video and we can just test things out. All right, so let's get some kitchen paper going. As always, I'm just going to start by cutting it out. I can get it, my printer can get it pretty close to the edges, but not all the way to the edges. And I'm not the authority on glue, so I'd probably say, okay, send me your questions on glue and send me your suggestions for glue. Like if people have little tips and tricks, because then I could like show those and like credit people and be like, this idea came from so-and-so. Joanne. Yes, I agree. I think if someone said if you use the chalk, yeah, you definitely probably want to spray it, because if you use the Mod Podge and you have to use a brush to spread it, it could end up either erasing your chalk or moving it to a place you don't want it to be. So a spray sealant would be a lot better, as Kim said, because it won't move your work around. Okay, so we've got an interesting issue going on here. So this space behind the staircase here is supposed to be a bookcase. And there's supposed to be little like shelves that go here. And they tell you between this step of building this side of the walls and before starting this side to put the shelves in. And I'm not gonna do that. Because I should still easily be able to reach that. So I'm just going to keep going with the steps of the walls. And I may regret that in the future, but I feel like it's weird for them to just stop and tell you to build this bookcase when you can still really easily build it after the walls. So I'm ignoring that part, and we'll come back to it. And I may even do something different with this area as well. It may not end up being a bookcase, so I'm not quite sure. Hi, Spiritual Casino. I'm glad you're here. Just making miniature Happiness Coast beach house. That sounds cool. And darn near glue me all together with super glue. Yes, super glue will, super glue is a whole nother thing. Went to a show in Ann Arbor. Ooh. That sounds like a place I would love to visit. Acetone gets rid of super glue. See, y'all know these things. And that's what I need. I need to just call out for suggestions. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark where I need to, I'm trying to get this angle underneath this stairwell right here so that I can cut it. And I think I'm just going to use like one of these pieces of paper that I cut. It looks like it's about the right width. And I'm just going to draw a line and then cut it. And we're gonna see how that works. So that should be about the right size. Okay. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of fold this top part back to test and see if that looks right. That almost fits exactly, which is pretty cool. That hardly ever happens. I made that look easy, but don't count on it always working that way because it doesn't usually. Let's see. Yes, wearing gloves with super glue is a good idea. I've had my fingerprints go missing for a few weeks with super glue. Not a few weeks, couple days. Where do you get the wallpaper? Is it real wallpaper or dollhouse? So I'm using, if any of y'all are just now showing up, I'm using this book, and it is a Dover book. Let's see. So if you look up Dover Publications, it's called Ready to Use Dollhouse Wallpaper, 6 full color patterns to decorate 6 rooms. And it has all these wallpapers in here. Oh, it gives you more than 3. What does it give you? 4 papers per pattern, and it's kind of an older book, but I'm pretty sure you can still find it online. But what I do is I just scan it in and then print the papers out so that I can still keep the patterns. And but there's also some free resources online, and if you go to my last live stream, a lot of people commented in the comments of some free resources for wallpaper. So definitely, if you're interested in that, go look at the comments in that video, or you can look up this book as well. If you glue your fingers together with super glue, rubbing them together works. It's the oils on your hands. I have lots of experience. Hi Penny, I know you use a lot of mats in your work, but I can't seem to find the whole ones like you have. All I can find is something called backer board. Is that the same thing? I'm not quite sure. The places that I go to buy huge pieces of mat board are places that frame artwork. And so like here in the United States, I'm not quite sure where you're at, but here in the United States, we have like a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby. Both of those places will frame artwork. So they have giant bins that are full of different colors and styles of mat board. And usually I just go for the, I usually just go for the white, and then I take it home and then I cut it into individual pieces. That will fit into my Cameo machine, because sometimes I will cut things with my Cameo. And so that is where I find it. So if you do not have a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby, I suggest going and searching for a place that frames artwork, because most likely, because you never know, those frames could be, I'm so sorry, those frames could be huge, and it could be artwork that's huge. So if you have a local place that does that, I would definitely check in there and see if they would allow you to purchase some of their mat board. I don't know if anyone mentioned, but if you use kills on both sides of every piece, it will straighten the wood. Kills can be sanded, and it makes glues, paper, and paints adhere beautifully. I'm gonna have to try that next time, because yeah, straightening out that center wall was not fun. So if y'all are trying this Fairfield kit, definitely try using the kills for sure. Okay, so all I did was cut this piece, and I cut a little bit too much, which is kind of sad. But the rest of the house should probably be about the same size. I'm gonna mark the edge here so I can cut the edge, so I can get a piece that pretty much fits into that slot. What do y'all think? Do you think I should wallpaper the side of the stairs or leave it like a wood panel? I kind of think it'd be cool wallpapered, but then I also don't know. Let me know what you guys think while I try and find the part that I marked. Oh, there it is. There we go. Try and line it up. Okay. For some reason, that lid did not want to come off. Okay. No problem, Penny. I'm glad that you have one near you. They're kind of in the back by the framing area. I found 50 packs of matte board on Amazon. They have white and also multiple colors. That's really good. It's a good deal. How much was that, Kim? That's awesome. I searched up matte board on Amazon. It's the same as matte board, just a different name. Yeah, mount board is also sometimes like a nicer quality is called museum board because they often mount like artwork on it for museum, I'm guessing. Paper the side of the stairs. Paint would make the wallpaper stand out more. Wood panel. Contrast of the wood panel on the stairs. Hi Blake, welcome to the stream. Well, we got a mixed wood and paper. We got a mixed suggestions. Okay, so now I have this piece of wallpaper that fits right here. I kind of cut it a little bit short here, but I think this is going to be covered by whatever I make the outside of the house. And then remember, the rest of this room is also going to have this wallpaper. So those of you who are saying it might be a nice break from the eye to have this be brown, you might be right, because this is all going to be this green flowery craziness. Wow, hi from Qatar, hi. Or is it, some people I've heard say Qatar, and some people I've heard say Qatar. You'll have to let me know which is right, because you're from there. I would love to know. I'd also use cotton fabric for wallpaper. That's a good idea. Paper the stairs, wood tube, brown against the wallpaper. So many different opinions. I might have to sit and think on it. What do I do with all of my dollhouses? Well, I have given one away. I had a huge one. It used to sit behind me. No one ever really talked about it or asked me about it or anything, but I was going to make it into a clue house and have it be like a murder mystery thing, but I really lost my passion for it and I just never ever touched it. And so I ended up giving it to a family that has, do they have 4 girls? 4 girls, and I just really wanted someone to love that project, and I had kind of fallen out of love with it, and I really wanted to focus more on the Addams Family house and the abandoned coffee shop, and so I ended up giving them the dollhouse. And so it's been really fun because they'll like ask me and say, hey, we are stuck on this part, and they're not doing the same thing I was going to do with it, and I wasn't very far along, so you're not missing out on anything. That was just my plan. I hadn't really put anything together for it yet. So I donated that one. Other dollhouses I am probably eventually going to have to sell. The hard thing is the shipping. Like, I have to kind of figure out the best way to ship dollhouses because it can be extremely expensive depending on their size. For the Addams house, I don't think I will ever sell the Addams house just because of the amount of work that I've put into it. And it's just kind of been, it was my very first project I ever started on. So I don't think I could ever bring myself to sell it. I may at some point, if there's a miniatures museum like interested in showing it, I might lend it to a museum at some point. Not that I feel like, I don't want that to sound like vain, like, oh, they should put my work in a museum. But, you know, it's nice to have your stuff that you work so hard on viewed. Okay, so I'm seeing Qatar, so thank you. Thank you for clarifying. That makes sense in my head, but thank you for letting me know. If you think about it, you probably wouldn't have a giant wood wall in your house. Probably not. In the words of Bob Ross, it's your world, do what's best for you. Hi, Cuddle Girl. You add the color, search dollhouse. Oh, that's cool. So dollhouse wallpaper book on Amazon, but then you are the one who colors it. That's awesome. I'm guessing you got to use like a like waterproof type of colorant, like pen or something, so that when you put it on, it doesn't run. Bye, Jillian. Thanks for joining. Hi, Andrea. I would build either a real door or facade door to the brown staircase wall. Oh, that would be cool. Kind of like make it look like something's underneath there. Deanna asked, what dollhouse was it that I gave away? It was a Duracraft type dollhouse, and I don't think Duracraft exists anymore. So it was really old. It was a farmhouse type, and I had done a lot of work on the siding, and I had bricked the outside. It was really cool. I had worked on the outside more than the inside, and but I actually bought it. I found it on Craigslist for $5. Huge dollhouse. But I ended up just never working on it, so I decided to give it away. I could sell local. There's enough interest in Texas that might work, I think. People asking you for your houses. Like when I share pics on Facebook, friends ask how much. Oh no, don't let anyone buy it for their toddler. No. Tell them it's a collector item, not a toy. Okay, so you could pull out a color from the wallpaper and paint it that color. That's a good idea too. Okay. Yes, whenever I had my Etsy shop up and running, it's not running right now, I would definitely make sure and mark everything for collectors, not for children, because it isn't for children. I let my children play with a select amount of things, and they do come in and they are interested in my projects, but it's definitely not for them. Someday it may be for them, and someday they may be interested in the process and work with me, but at the moment they would destroy some of the things, not on purpose, but they're kids. They're not super careful with things. Yes. Yeah, tell them what it's made out of. That'll help. Okay, so I'm going to wait to cut that door out. Follow my own advice and wait. So let's go ahead and talk about, since we have about half an hour left, let's talk about the next steps of putting this side of the house together, because it does get a little bit complicated and a little bit squishy. I don't know if that's the right word, because this space is so small. This is the entryway, and really it's supposed to have a wall that goes here, and then this is for a door, a wall that goes here, and then a wall that goes here. So it cuts this space off kind of like this. And this is the only space in the entryway. So what I want to do is remove the wall that goes right here, so this looks nice and open and goes into this space. And so the light that's in this room will kind of flow this way, and light that comes through the front door area will flow this way. And I feel like it will just really kind of help this area seem not so cramped. It looks like y'all are liking the adding kind of like a door type thing to this, so I will have to put some thought into that. I bought an Ashley dollhouse at Goodwill for $2.50. Yeah, if you guys are looking for a dollhouse that's already put together and you don't want to spend like an arm and a leg, look at estate sales, look at garage sales, look at There's all sorts of places that you can go and find. My dollhouse, that's the writer's retreat. There's a tour. It was like one of my first videos on YouTube. There's a tour of my writer's retreat. I bought that guy for $2 at a garage sale. It was covered, someone's kid had covered it and glued magazine clippings to the entire house. The stairs were missing, and I kind of rehabbed it into a really fun project. So don't let an already built dollhouse scare you. A lot of times those are the most fun to play around with because you only paid like $2 for it. So definitely go for that. My friends and I don't say dollhouse anymore because we talk about miniatures because it's not for children. That's true. When you say dollhouse, people think about children. So you could just totally change your how you talk about it. Okay. Debbie says you left a message, but you don't see it. It doesn't say any of them are missing, so sorry. I don't know what happened. Maybe put a doorway where it's actually supposed to have the bookshelves. That's true. Could do that. Okay, so I'm gonna start so I can tell you what part of the directions we're on in case you are following along with your own kit. Let me find it. Okay, so then it talks about floor banister. Placing, I should have like marked where we were at. Okay, so we need to pre-assemble. We are on step, so we're in section D. In section D of the directions, but we've done all of this, which took forever and a day. So don't think this is going to go quickly for you. And then I'm now on step 11 of section D. And it says pre-assemble left front wall and second floor left section by sliding slots together. Do not glue. So like 3 streams ago, I popped all these pieces out and we're still working with them, trying to get them together. So just know that it takes a little bit of time. Okay. All right, so this is the second floor left section, and it actually fits over the railing like so. But first we need to pre-assemble this part. Now this part is what creates a wall here that separates, hold on, let me move this around. That separates this part from the back part of the wall, as you can see. So it cuts off this section. It does have a door here, but this door goes out onto the patio. And I'm fine with the door being there, but I definitely want to open this up. I'm not quite sure why they cut this off, except maybe to have more of a secluded kitchen type area, or what, I guess whatever you wanted to make this into. But I really want to remove this part, and I actually think it's going to be easier to glue together because this part for some reason is not sitting flush exactly. So once I remove this, I think it will sit flush. So let me put these back together so you can kind of see more accurately how it should be. And I know I'm going to be missing messages, so I'm sorry guys. If there's something you really want me to answer, I will try my best. But if you don't see me answer it, just let me know. Okay. So there should be a door right here. Remember, we still got to cut that out. So here's what it looks like. The kitchen area, and it's going to have like a bay window type thing here. So I'm going to cut this part off so we have a walkway from this stair area to the front of the house. Let me turn it around this way so you can see. One thing that I had a hard time with in this kit is I felt like I could not see how this kit goes together because it's so complicated. So that's why I'm wanting to show everything. So this is the line of the outside tower of the house. All of this is porch. All of this area is porch. This is inside. So this room only has this much floor space, which is why I'm wanting to cut this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little mark where this wall meets this wall, and this is the part that I'm going to cut off, all of this. And that is my plan. Put something creepy under the stairs. That's true. It is going to be a skeleton house. All of my houses are pre-loved. I like that term, pre-loved. The one I got with magazine clippings all over it was definitely pre-loved. Door on the wall would be good for, or a large painting. It's true. Cut it straight across so it's even with the top of the door. All right, so I've got to pull this guy out. Oh, so you're saying like cut it like this so that it still has like this part. I'm gonna have to sand this down though, I think, because it's a little bit rough. Oh, I took that out and I was gonna mark it, but it'll be easier for me to mark with this, with the floor not on it. I might actually do like a rounded, like an archway, because if I can, cutting this wood sometimes I'm not really sure what I'm actually going to be able, I'm not really sure what I'm actually going to be able to do because the wood sometimes refuses to let me do what I want to do. So I'm going to mark the edge here, and I might make it even with the door frame because we have one archway. And this is a really badly drawn archway, but it could be cool to have another archway. Usually like those like interior entryways in houses, don't they have, like if there's one archway, the other one's gonna like match it. Kind of like that. So I'm gonna cut this out because this is an exterior door, so if you won't see this right next to this because there's a wall that goes like that. Love the mint stripe wallpaper. Yeah, that was in the book as well. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to cut this guy because I kind of like the archway and make this as straight as possible. I'm just gonna kind of eye this. Someone's sending me a message. Okay, so I don't have the sharpest blade in my X-Acto knife, but sometimes like I don't worry about it on this because I feel like the wood would probably dull it almost instantly anyway. I probably need something a little bit stronger than like a box cutter, which I used to have a box cutter at the ready. Box cutters, I feel like it's easier to put more, like you can push down a little bit harder because X-Acto knives seem so delicate, like you're gonna break them. When you make an arch, it looks a bit strange from the kitchen. I don't know, we'll have to see because I can always like add more stuff back to it. So I'm going to try the archway just because there's so many archways in other parts of the house, and then we can always change it. One thing with dollhouses is it is rather easy to like to change things out. Now once I glue it, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. So I'm hoping I'll just be able to pop this out once I get far enough into the wood, and then I can kind of sand it back. And this blade is going to be total trash by the time this is done. Yep. All right, let's see. Nope, not yet. A friend of mine brings the pieces to my house to cut as I have a scroll saw. Yeah, we actually have one somewhere. It's really, really old one. And I think the last time we used it, it did not work super well. I know that you can get like mini ones as well. If y'all don't know the brand Micromark, someone mentioned it earlier of buying a glue jig. Micromark, and it's MICROMARK. Micromark has tools that are specifically miniaturized. So you can get like a mini drill press, a mini scroll saw, mini, like just little tools that are meant to do miniature work. So, bye Vonda. Thank you for joining us. If you're looking for something like that, you might look at the Micromark website because I knew they do have stuff like that. All right. Oof. Getting close to being able to top this guy. Goes a little bit more over, I think. Something like that. Probably not exact, but I'm probably going to straighten it up with sandpaper. That was not the smartest thing. All right, I'm going to have to keep going. We're close on the arch, not on this. When they do this like plywood, of course they alternate the grains of the wood as you go through. And so like I can feel whenever I'm hitting grains of wood that are going a different direction, and it's a little bit harder to cut. That usually means we're about all the way through. Almost there. They use like extra glue down here or something. You can get different X-Acto blades. The ones I have that are gold edge, they hold up nicely. I'll have to look into that because I usually just buy the regular ones. I have Dremel tools. It's a little easier on the budget than Micromark, but I do have tools from them as well. I have a Dremel, and it'd probably, well, I think it'd do okay in this situation. It's just this one piece down here. See if I can get my blade through the wood and push down. It's like there's a piece of metal in there or something. It does not want to cooperate. And it's just right here. Something right there does not want to be cut. Oh, here it goes. Okay. Woohoo! We got something off. All right, so I'm gonna put it back into the project, and you can always keep that for something later if you'd like to. I'm gonna push all this over to the side. I couldn't find my little mini vacuum this morning, so I'm just gonna save it up and then clean it up later. All right, let's bring the house back. Put this wall back in. Okay, and I still need to cut a little bit more off of this edge because it's still just not sitting flush for some reason. And I can always wood fill if I don't, because I'm not cutting super straight, guys. This wood just really does not allow you to cut super straight. But I can do some wood filler and then cover it in wallpaper or paint. So, but my most important goal right now is to making sure everything fits together straight. I need to cut it just a bit more. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you are working on the Fairfield, I started a hashtag called Fighting the Fairfield. So if you would like to join in, it does feel at times like a bit of a fight trying to get everything to fit together and work together harmoniously. A mini lathe, I want one so bad, but since I have never used a full-size one, you don't know. I have a table saw and a Dremel scroll saw. Yeah, it's nice to have those tools, but it's also nice to also like be able to do it by hand too, because like sometimes those tools just don't get into the places that we want, or they're too expensive. And so if I can do it by hand, I try to do it by hand so that to see if it can be done also. I'm a stickler for scale. I have issues. That's why I said some people are a stickler for scale and some people are not. It is, you know, up to each mini maker's design. All right, so I did an archway to kind of match that archway that goes into the living room. So let me put the second floor on so we can see how that looks. So it goes like this. And then it goes on top of the stairwell railing. Oops, something's getting stuck. There we go. Okay. So what we have is a look like this. And this is what it looks like from the kitchen area. And I can see how that would look a little strange next to the door. So I'll kind of have to judge what I think about that. But it will match this doorway because this one has an arch as well. So I don't know why they did arches and flat top doors, but this one I guess doesn't have a door that goes into it. It's just a walkway. So there are both throughout. Let's go ahead and cut out this door so that we can kind of see how that would look. It should be enough to cut it out now. Use my beat up blade. Let me find it. There it is. Alright, so I'm just going to carefully kind of try and follow the arch of this guy if possible. It is kind of a guessing game on where the door is. So there he's starting to show up. How often do I do these live chats? I have the live streams once a month, and they're usually on the first Tuesday of the month. In the summertime, they're going to be at night. So if making it during the day is difficult for you, like when I have the morning streams, at least morning my time, then hopefully in the summer it'll be a little easier for you to make it. And I do think someday I may be able to do it more often, but right now once a month is pretty good for me, but I think it would be fun to do it more. There's something. I have a mini lathe. After I bought it, I found a video where a person does mini lathe work by putting a dowel in a drill. That is brilliant. I think it'll look great when the doors are in the doorways if they have them. Yes, I think the kit actually comes with doors. I don't know if they're actually functioning doors, but in the directions it says this kit works with a certain brand of half-scale doors. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, and of course I'll share with you guys when I make my decision of what kind of doors and windows. I'm going to share with you what I officially decide. Okay, so here you can see we have the arched doorway here and an arched doorway there, and so these two match even if this doesn't. One thing I could always do is I could add some kind of arch artwork or like a design up here to kind of help match everything together. Even if the doorway stays this shape, I could add something up there just to give it a little bit more of a uniform look. How late in the summer? For my live streams are going to start at 7 p.m. My time, and I will make sure and do another video explaining the stream times for everybody. But yeah, they'll be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. my time. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone again. Let me go ahead and cut out this upper door as well, and then I'm gonna Mod Podge these doorways. I don't know, did we get much done today? Do we feel like we got much done? Thank you. Yeah, I have a little bit too much on my plate right now to do multiple live streams per month, but I really think it would be fun to do. You know, it would be kind of like a dream come true if, you know, this became like a full-time job for me. And if that happens, I would definitely be able to do more live streams. I'd probably still do just one video a week because it doesn't matter how much time I have, miniatures still take time and editing takes time. So I'd still just do one video a week, but it might be fun to do more live streams because I can be working on stuff while I'm talking with you guys. So, oh yeah, stained glass arch would be pretty. Love the idea of the stained glass arch by the door. Oh no, 3 in the morning for you. Sorry. Hi, Rain Song. You could close off the square doorway from the hall and turn it into a pantry. Oh, that's true. I could like close off the something like the whatever you call this guy. Porch guy. All right, so we got the hallway. Really all we did was wallpaper. We just wallpapered for 2 hours, but it does kind of give you an idea of how long some of these things take, and it just takes a little bit of patience. But we did get the archway cut for this and kind of talked about some ideas for that. I will cover this with Mod Podge. I'll show you what the other wallpaper looks like covered in Mod Podge. It just has a little bit more of a gloss to it. And for me, I feel like it's just a little bit more sturdy. I don't worry so much about scratching the surface of the paper, because if you do scratch the paper with an X-Acto knife, if you're working in there, if you get glue on it or paint on it, if you've protected it with a layer of Mod Podge, it's a little bit less likely to get messed up after putting all that much time into it. How tall are the ceilings? Good question. Ruler. Okay, so this from floor to ceiling is about 5 inches. So in half scale, 5 inches is about 10 feet. Doorways are about a little higher than 7 feet. The second floor looks like it's less. It's 4.5 inches or 4.25 inches. So that would make it 8.5 feet. So it does look like the bottom floor ceilings are a little bit higher than the top floor. You could close, I already read that. I don't see your live stream in the summer. I will sleep at 2 till 4 in the night. I'm sorry if you'll miss it. But it will always be re-uploaded right after the stream to my channel, so you can always catch back up with it and then chat with me in the comments if you had anything to add, because I love hearing y'all's opinions. So but that helps me just because I have little ones, and it's always easier if they are in bed. Hi, welcome to the stream. We're actually just about to end. I'm so sorry about that. It is the end of the stream. Like I said, I feel like we didn't get much done, but we made some decisions. Actually, let's put this wall back in, and I'm going to show you the pieces that I'm going to glue on for next time. I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to get two ahead and then you guys say, wait, what happened? But I do want to at least wallpaper. Now I think we've done enough wallpapering in live streams. So I don't want to bore y'all with that too much, but these pieces I want to go ahead and wallpaper, and as long as the directions say I'm supposed to glue them together. So what I mean by that is I'm going to wallpaper this with the green kitchen wallpaper, and then this piece goes like this. So I'll wallpaper this side with the green flower wallpaper, and then this upper story, I believe this is a hallway, so I'll wallpaper this guy with this type of paper, and then because this upper floor will be all of this like orangey color. So I will kind of get those walls together. I don't know. I'm gonna ask you now, do you guys want me to glue everything together in the live stream? Or do you want me to glue it and just tell you the order that I glued it in? Like, do you want to sit through me clamping and gluing things together? Let me know what you think. Thank you for joining, Andrea. I'm glad you made it to the live stream. My wallpaper is copied on cardstock paper, and that just makes it a little bit more sturdy. When it goes onto the wall, I get less bubbles having it on cardstock, and I don't feel like it's too thick. So let me know your opinions on if you want to see me glue things together and how I clamp things, or if you would prefer that I do that off stream and then just kind of give you glue ahead instead of live stream. Okay, so glue ahead of time, because it really is just a lot of me like grunting and trying to like push it together. Glue it before so it'll be dry for the next stream. Okay, I see a lot of people are saying that that's what they want to do. So I think that's a great idea, and I can just tell you, like I did at the beginning of this live stream, that you know, the places that or ways that I use that made it a little bit easier. Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you for your opinion. That helps me know, because I don't want to skip things that you guys want to see, but I also don't want to just sit here watching glue dry. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I like talking with everyone too. It's so fun. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for allowing me to switch the live stream to Saturday. I think it's a good option if we ever do have a live stream fail again. I think I may have figured out what the issue was. Hopefully this won't happen again, but YouTube is so unpredictable. You just really never know. So Saturday, as long as I have it free, and my husband's okay with watching the kids for a little bit, it definitely works for me. So that will be our definite backup day. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys being with me today, and for giving me your opinions. You definitely given me a lot to think about as far as the stairwell and just thinking through some of these things. So I enjoyed it. I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. And it is time for lunch here. My stomach is growling because I had M&Ms for breakfast. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm on this new thing, so I have to find the end button. YouTube, of course, changed things again. Bye. Hi, Mason. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.